Well, everybody, it looks like we're live, so thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate that. If you're going to catch us on the replay, make sure you give us a thumbs up. Go back, watch some of our videos, subscribe to our channel, hit the alert bell. If you like anything that we do, I recommend you hitting up our PayPal account. We appreciate that to help us support what we do. As always, it's an honor and privilege for me to be here tonight. We're not going to get too excited for a couple of minutes. We're going to let people come in here. So stick around, and as you come in, just leave a comment and announce yourself. Lily, you doing okay, Lily? Oh, I'm looking at pictures of doggies. We hope everybody's having a great evening. We do indeed. Thank you for coming in and supporting us. Say hello, introduce yourselves. Man, it is a cold, miserable day where we're at. It's in the 50s. It's raining. It's like winter is never going to end. I don't understand what in the hell's going on this spring. It seems like winter just keeps going on and on and on and on and on and on. When we came back from when we were down in Alabama, it was 85 and beautiful. We come back to where we're at, and it's 50 degrees and raining. I talked to somebody up in the farmland of America today. They were telling me that the crops aren't in yet. The corn is still waiting to be planted. And I asked them, well, why? And they said, oh, it's been too cold and rainy up there. Tim's in the house. Hey, Tim, good evening. Good to see you, Tim. Thank you for being here. Jacob, when did you serve? When did I serve what? I've never been in the military. If that's your question, I've never been in the military. No, if that's what you mean by that. I did serve my wife lunch today, but that's about it. So we thank you for coming in. Thank you for the thumbs up. How are you all, Tim? I'm sure it's nice and warm where you're at. But man, it seems like spring and winter is just lingering on. We're supposed to get a couple more days of cool, rainy weather here. And we're hoping next week it's supposed to warm up in the 80s. But man, it's a real shocker. It's a real shocker. That's right, I did not. I know. My wife is commenting on the fact I'm wearing the same colored shirt as I did yesterday. Their equality index is kicking my butt now? Oh man, I bet. Well, that sucks, Tim. You know? Yeah, I was reading it. Lorelai's making fun of me, Tim, because she sent me a message wanting to know why I'm still wearing a black shirt because I wore black yesterday, and you guys all know that our dog Daisy died, and I just don't feel like wearing anything colorful. So she's kind of making fun of me that at least I could have put on like a gray shirt or a dark blue shirt or a dark green shirt, but wearing black 2 days in a row makes it look like I don't have any clothes. So you know how wives are. Women folk are going, people are going to think I don't wash clothes, that my husband doesn't have clothes to wear, that I'm a bad wife. Yeah, so what is the contributing factor to your low air quality? Is it the pollution? Is it the temperature, the humidity? Is there like another volcano, ashes? Is there something going on, Tim, that is like the main contributing factor to poor local quality? Oh, I can't even talk today. I know our pollen counts are up high, really here. Even with all the rain, our pollen counts are still high, and you can tell it. In Alabama, we'd wake up feeling decent, not allergy and. But coming back to this part of the country where everything is still in bloom, it's like, oh my goodness gracious. But yeah, it's definitely not warming up here. Very disappointed in that. I mean, we're only in Alabama for a week, but we definitely got used to the 85 and breezy versus 55 and breezy. But we did try to get a few things done today, but not a whole lot. But the lack of wind. All right, and that is a big factor when and especially in climates, stale air, air that does not move, is a big factor. We found that out ourselves. We know that. I know this from being a old indoor air quality expert, but part of our problem living in the Philippines after Typhoon Odette hit, there was no air movement. So when Odette hit afterwards, there's no power, no fans, the mosquitoes were everywhere, and we had no air movement on the island. It just doesn't seem to, it was so still for days, that there was no air, and it just made things 10 times more miserable. I will have to stay in the aircon today and also use my air purifier. All right. Well, we have air purifiers too. We don't use them that often. We have to, we had one in the Philippines. We brought it back to America with us. But we used one in the Philippines too. But a lot of that was just to get the stinky food odor out of the house, to be honest. But, but we did have one there, and we have a couple of them, good ones here too. And I clean them, and try to wash the filters out, and try to keep them up in good shape so that we don't have to have any real big issues with it. So, but yeah. And sadly, we can't make the wind blow. It's what I tell people about living in the central part of America. During the summer, it's going to be 100, 105 degrees, and there's going to be no air current. You think tropics are hot. You think Arizona's hot. You come to center part of America, and August, July, man. No going downtown today. That's good. That's good as long as you can stay in and you got everything that you need and everything taken care of. Sometimes it's good just to kind of sit put and do nothing, and kick back. So, but Tim, I'm with you, buddy. I'm with you. We appreciate everybody watching in the background. Please feel free to come in and say hello to everybody. Let us know if you got any questions about the Philippines or America or Tim or anything you want to talk about. Our poor dog, you name it, we can talk about it. Just join the chat. Say hello to everybody. Give us a thumbs up, by the way. We appreciate that as always. It helps us with it makes YouTube think we're good. We're a good YouTube channel if people give us thumbs up. I did install some solar lights in my backyard. I'm working on a video, Tim. We extended our dirty kitchen in America. We made a bigger dirty kitchen and kind of got it. And I did a bunch of short videos, and I'm going to put those all together with the finished product, which I'm hoping next week when the weather's warm and the night is warm enough that I can go outside, I can take my last little video segment showing the whole patio dirty kitchen area completely done, in daylight than at night because I added some really cool lighting effects. So I'm trying to get that done, but that'll probably be next week sometime. Right now, it's like I said, it's 58 degrees. It's too cold to sit outside and go outside. Your trainer at the gym sent you home early. Were you having breathing issues, or was he recognizing she? I think it's a her, if I remember right. They just recognizing that the air quality wasn't well enough for you guys to really get in a good workout. So, and that's a smart trainer. Sometimes you got to know when to say when. You know, we man, we went to a Wiener Schnickels, Wiener something restaurant today and got a hot dog for me, and they were mowing the grass for the first time there this spring. Man, it stank really bad. I don't know what was going on with that grass, but I don't know. There was something not right. Their fresh cut grass in that big area, man, it ranked. It was almost like rotten fish smell. And usually, you don't mind the smell of fresh cut grass, and it has a nice vibe to it, makes you feel good and go, ooh, spring weather. But today it was bad. It was, maybe too much stale water sitting in the valleys, the low spots, or something. But it was pretty rank, pretty rank. But today, Tim, is just Lily and I sitting at home. Lorelai's back at work again, and today's Lily and I's second day at home alone. So we haven't made any headway on anything at all. But we appreciate everybody supporting us. Once again, let me tell everybody from Facebook and YouTube and everywhere else, we appreciate all the kind words about our dog passing. She means the world to us, so it's been very stressful. But we appreciate all the nice and kind words for everybody. Nothing too exciting going on in America today, Tim. It was moldy. That's what it was. The grass was moldy. That's exactly the good way to put it. We've had so much rain this spring. It's unbelievable. I mean, I know 2 weekends in a row we had 5 to 7 inches of rain every weekend. It was definitely moldy. It was bad. It smelled horrible. I probably got to call my lawn mowing guy, or he'll call me. Maybe late next week. I need to probably my yard to be ready to be mowed next week. I think mine's close to needing to be taken care of. So I'll need to reach out to him maybe this week and tell him, why don't you plan to come maybe late next week? Next week here, the yard's supposed to be dry. Everything's supposed to dry out. We're supposed to have 70s, 80s all next week. So with some air current, hopefully we can get this to dry out. MJ's in the house. Good evening to you, MJ. How are you? Or good morning to you, young man in the Philippines. How are things going for you? You don't know how much you got on Monday? It's raining here. It stopped now, but we're supposed to get rain the next 2 or 3 days. We just gotten all kinds of rain. I talked to my brother down in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and they got hammered the last 2 days. So, MJ, good to see you. Thank you for coming in. What's going on in the Philippines for you? I don't know how much. Tim is saying, hello, MJ. Hey, Tim. So, MJ and Venus in the house. We appreciate you. And yeah, if you watched me yesterday, you're not seeing double. I am wearing basically the same dark colored type of t-shirt that I wore yesterday and the same hat. So my wife was making fun of me. She sent me a message earlier, MJ, saying, why didn't you wear a different colored shirt? Everybody thinks we can't afford laundry or something. I'm like, I don't think people really give a shit what kind of shirt I wear. But, so yeah, it's nothing too exciting in the news today. Canada was here and met with President Trump. They did, and back and forth a little bit, but everything's going to be good there. Don't worry, I wear the same underwear every day. Yeah. Well, you know how wives are, right? Lorelai messaged me. She's like, oh, people are going to think we can't do laundry, or I'm not a good wife because you're wearing the same colored shirt 2 days in a row. And I'm like, I don't care. Maybe later in the week I'll switch back to colorful, happy shirts, but I'm still not quite feeling happy at this moment. So dark is good. I don't really care. But so yeah, I was talking to somebody. I was talking to a couple people who messaged me over the weekend about our dogs, but we got talking about some other things. And I talked to somebody. MJ, what part of the Philippines are you in? I am in Angeles City area, Tanza, Cavite. I probably didn't pronounce that right, but Cavite. All right. Lorelai's from Cebu. That's where we were in Manda. Come on, Lily. Come on. You can come. So I had a friend tell me, he said, they were having a great time living in the Philippines or being in the Philippines. They're there about 8 months now, I guess. They're having a time of their life. And then I just happened to talk to somebody else who is absolutely miserable in the Philippines. And I thought about how much good times we've had in the Philippines, how much bad times we've had in the Philippines. So today I kind of thought, man, is the Philippines a dream or is it a nightmare? I know it's all about perspective, but I thought it's a great question. And what makes a dream? What is it about the Philippines that is a dream? What about the Philippines makes it a nightmare? Those type of things. MJ is about 3 to 4 hours south of you, Tim. All right. See, you guys are not. Now, is that American 3 or 4 hours? Or is that Filipino 3 or 4 hours? Because that's a big difference. Because, there's a time in the Philippines that it would take us 3 hours to go 50 miles. So, or 3.5 technically. So is it American 3.5, three to four? Or is it the Filipino 3 to 4? Just wondering. Not tracking, okay, so you're quite a ways from them then. All right. Because in Cebu, you could be, you could see them all, right? I told somebody earlier today, we can look up and see them all over there. But it may take us 30 minutes to get there, because of traffic and the way you know how it is. So, but, if there's, what makes Philippine a dream? Going to the Philippines a dream. I am 1 to 1.5 hours, usually get to Manila. Okay, that's not too bad. 2 hours south of Manila. Yep, Tim knows exactly where you're at. He's going to come down and eat your food, and borrow your air conditioning, MJ. Like, give me that air conditioning. Now, MJ, are you still heading back to the States later this year? I know I talked to Henry the other day. He's still going back over in October. Not 2 hours? Okay, not quite 2 hours? Yes. Well, it's good to have friends in the Philippines that have air conditioning. It's one lesson that we learned. It's good to have friends that have air conditioning in the Philippines. Because besides the Typhoon Odette, when we had no power, we were the friends that had air conditioning. So we had a lot of visitors. All right. States are in your plans, but not exactly for sure when. All right. That's understandable. To be honest, we don't have any plans for anything right now. We're kind of in this weird limbo state because of our dog and everything that's going on. So I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. So we're kind of like in hover mode. I'm just sitting there. I'm in traffic in the Philippines right now, stuck. So that's where I'm at in life. We don't know what we're doing, coming or going. And we're going to be here for a while, I can sense. I'm going to be stuck in traffic for a little bit. But that's all right. Well, if you get over here and we get to hook up, it'd be good to hook up with you. So I know you got a lot to do when you come back to America. to America, America. But I think Henry's going over in October, he said, to hook up with Filipina Bai in the province, is what he's doing. He's going to go over there and meet her and hang out in that part of the Philippines. Is your house over here in Cebu? Yes, our land is in Cebu. We don't have a house yet. We rented properties in the Philippines when we were living there. But we do own land in the Philippines, and it's in Bogo, Cebu. So it's up by the beach. And we got to go back to the Philippines next year. Where our goal, we don't have to, but our goal is to go to the Philippines in 26, probably the latter part of 26, because we need to work on what we're going to be doing with our land in the Philippines. Hey, there's our good friend Emmanuel from Paris, France. How are you? I haven't seen you in a while. I hope things have been going well for you in Paris, France. How are you? What's your weather like? Anything? What's going on in your world, Emmanuel? Good to see you again. Appreciate you coming in. Thank you all for the thumbs up if you haven't done that, by the way. Let me remind you all to do that so YouTube likes us somewhat. Everybody say hello to our good friend from France, if you would, please. MJ says, I'll be right back. I got to go outdoors and pee. I got to go pee on the street dog. I got to go find that ass cow and pee on him. They're barking too much. Them damn roosters are going crazy, you know. So, but we miss the Philippines. We miss a lot of things about the Philippines. There's a lot of things about the Philippines we don't miss. So it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. It's a dream and it's a nightmare. You know, can something be two different things at once? Is the question. Can the Philippines be a dream location? And can the Philippines be a nightmare location at the same time? That's part of the big question. It was what I was telling some friends today, because I got another friend that I've been networking with who wants to get over to the Philippines. He's never been there. I've encouraged him to go because I think it's important for people to travel. So, you know, Lorelai told me the other day that she had a bunch of more vacation time that I didn't know about. So maybe if we get lucky, we might be able to take a vacation, a real vacation, later this year. I don't know, somewhere. But it won't be Paris, France. I can tell you that. It might be a cruise. I don't know what we're going to do, but we'll have to just see how that goes. But you know, we're still debating whether we're going to get a new puppy or not. I can tell Lily, our dog, is sad and lonely. So, and I'm sad and lonely. Lorelai's sad and lonely. So we probably will. We just got to play it by ear and make it happen. But things are pretty good here. Otherwise, I see the sun starting to peek out. You know, it's 7:22. The sun is starting to break out of the clouds for a couple of minutes, so that's good. Remember that paradise is wherever you decide it is. I would agree. I would agree, and I do think it's a state of mind. Now, I really do. I think that plays a big factor in it, and that's what I tell a lot of expats about living in the Philippines or other countries when I talk to them. That you got to have your mind right, you know, and this comes from personal experience. So you got to have your mind right. You got to go for the right reasons. I believe that a lot of people go to the Philippines for the wrong reasons, or other countries. A lot of guys want to go and just be drunks or chase women or live cheap, you know. Are those necessarily the right reasons? Yeah, maybe not. I don't know. The right reason depends on who you are, you and who you are, is what I think. But I do think, I tell people, I was telling my friend today, when we were talking about the Philippines, I'm like, you know, look, one thing that's important, if you're going to go there and stay there for an extended period of time, you need to have something to do. You need to kind of have a form and function. You need to be able to get up and say, today we're going to work on this. Today we're going to do that. Well, you're right, MJ. A geographical relocation doesn't fix any problems. Life is what you make of it. You can be happy or sad anywhere. And you can be both in the same day, everywhere you're at. Tim says, I'm here because I am cheap. Well, Tim, are you cheap? Are you frugal? MJ says, well, I found a hobby. I drink beer. There you go. Well, but myself included, and many other expats that I've talked to that live in Panama, Thailand, Belize, Honduras, a lot of places, because I network with a lot of expats worldwide. And this is a common thread when things are not paradise, when things become a nightmare, is if you go to a foreign land and you don't have something to do, then you don't have any self-worth, because a lot of us men, we get self-worth out of doing. That's just basic psychology of men. We like to be doers and fixers. And if we do nothing but sit around our hands, then that turns that environment into a nightmare. That too, cost of living is cheap here. It is, but I think that's a misnomer, MJ. I think the cost of living being cheap is a misnomer. I don't know if I can be considered as cheap as I have a housekeeper and driver. That's what I mean. You're frugal, Tim. You're frugal with your money. You're not cheap. But I think the cost of living thing is a little bit of a misnomer for the Philippines and Thailand and other places. Everybody wants to talk about how cheap it is. But like I was telling, somebody earlier today, I have a lot of conversations. You get what you pay for. And living in a foreign country is the same way. Now, granted, there may be situations where, let me explain this way. If you're going to buy a $10,000 car, you're going to get a $10,000 car. If you're going to live on $10,000 a year, then you're going to have a $10,000 a year lifestyle, no matter what country you're in. So if you're living on, $50,000 in the United States annual salary, and you go to the Philippines, well, are you going to live any better? Are you going to piss through your $50,000 every year? Most people can't say, look, I got 50 grand a year income from America. I'm going to go to the Philippines, and I'm only going to spend $25,000 a year and live just as good, relatively speaking, as I did in America and bank $25,000. That's not the way it is. That's not the way it is. Depends on where you live and your level of lifestyle. Lifestyle is crucial. I don't know, Tim, what do you think about that, about what I said? But lifestyle is crucial. You can definitely stretch a dollar if you want to live in certain foreign countries, but you got to be mindful that you still only have a dollar. MJ says, I can pay my driver for almost an entire day in travel that costs less than a single taxi or Uber ride at short distance in the U.S. That's correct. You can. You can. But the housing that you live in is not the same as the housing you would live in America, right? The medical care that you would get in America is not the same as you'd get in the Philippines. The quality of goods may be a different product too. Now, those things may not matter to you. It may not be important. And that's what I tell people. If you need to understand that you're not going to live the way a Western lifestyle in the Philippines, because that's not the West. Pat says, good evening, everybody. Now, you could spend a bunch of money and turn an Asian culture into a Western civilization, right? And have that microculture. But that's not what that is. It's not. Housing is different, but it's paid for already. Yes. MJ said, hello, Pat. Pat, thank you for the thumbs up as you came in, by the way. So if you want, well, and I tell people this, if you want an American lifestyle in a foreign country, you're not going to get it. The best thing you can do is just stay in America. So you need to not have that concept that you're going to go live in a foreign country and live like an American, because that's not America. It's the Philippines, it's Thailand, it's Belize, it's Honduras. Hey, brother MJ and Venus. Pat says hello to you, Tim. So, Pat, how are you doing today, buddy? How are things going for you? So, I just want people to understand from my perspective, can you spend less money in the Philippines having a life in the Philippines than you can in America? Sure. But it's a different life. It's a different lifestyle, it's a different culture, it's a different everything. So it's not apples to apples. But MJ, that's kind of what it is. MJ says, I came here for Venus, not for lifestyle. But isn't Venus the lifestyle? Our Filipino women are the lifestyle that we want. It's the culture that we want. It's the family environment that we want. So when you say that, I think you're missing a little bit. It's truly, she is the environment, the culture. She is the Philippines. She is Asia. Good weather. Oh, nice. We had rain today, and it's in the freaking 50s again. So, because that's kind of how I look at Lorelai, my wife. You know, if I wanted to marry a stinking ass white American, I would have done that. I didn't want to do that. So, I didn't do that. So, because we want to marry the traits that come out of the Philippines that are in the Filipino women. That's part of the dream, right? Okay, her culture and the way of Filipino life. Right, right. So, Tim's saying, hello, Pat. How are you today? We got more rain tomorrow, next few days. Same here, rain all week. And then we're supposed to get back up in the 80s tomorrow, next week, which I'm really looking forward to because I'm tired of freezing my ass off. So, I mean, I'm just tired. I hate winters, and winter never seems to end. Hey. So, you know, that's kind of how I look at it. Everybody is, what's your dream of the Philippines? You know, Tim was to live a less expensive lifestyle, not a cheap lifestyle, or make his dollar stretch. We know a lot of guys that do that, and it works for them. But it's going to be a different lifestyle. It just is. You're going to have limitations that you don't have in other countries. It's one thing that I tell people, say, look, you know, and for me personally, the Philippines gets boring because it's all the same old, same old, same old, same old. You can travel all over the Philippines, but all you do is see the same things, right? If you live in a country like America, you go to the ocean, you go to the mountains, you go to the Grand Canyon, you go to the big cities, you got all these different things that you can incorporate. Now, if you're into that, but if you're happy kind of being a homebody in a sense, I think a lot of the guys that realize the Philippines is a dream for them is they're homebodies. They're people that are content with a small group, a nucleus, and they're happy living that. They don't have a great desire to, you know, unlike me, I get extremely bored. I get extremely bored, people. I always want to learn, grow, know, and seek out. I'm Star Trek, I guess. What do they call that? Pat says, yeah, right on. The limitations haven't bothered me, but yes, it can be boring. That's why I do things like YouTube, music, and his new hobby, beer drinking. Right, MJ? I got to fix my pillow here so I'm comfortable. I lost ambition, much traveling these days. Well, and I'll tell you guys, for me, it's not about, I love to travel. Look, if I had money shit, Lorelai wouldn't work, and all we would do is travel. And I mean, we travel a lot. So I like to travel. But for me, the opposite side of that, I don't like sitting around and doing nothing. That's what bored the shit out of me in the Philippines, especially when we had no power, no water, or anything. For what I would spend on an apartment in the States, I can rent a house and have people take care of me. And I agree. And that's being smart, Tim. And you're one of the people that I referred to. You okay, Lily? Lily, you okay? Come here. So you're one of the smart people because you knew the type of life that you like, what you wanted, and that you could make this happen. So I consider you one of the smart expats. Pat says he likes to travel. Yes, beer drinking isn't a new thing for me. It's more than what my lifestyle has been since I was young. You're right, Tim. So, and what Tim has done, I'm speaking for you, Tim. Well, she's hiding under the pillows, Lorelai. Oh, here she comes. Come here, Lily. She's trying to hide under the pillows. Hang on, I gotta show Lorelai the dog. There's Lily. All right, sorry. Get the camera back in place. Everybody say hello to Mrs. Pack. Yep. Cover her up. Yes, Lorelai, I will cover her up. She's covered up. Sorry. Sorry, Pat. Thank you for that. All right, let me go back up here. Crystal Lynn just said, thanks for coming in. Thank you for the thumbs up. Hello again. I just sent off my child intervention check for the purpose of volunteering and doing a practicum. Nice. Lorelai says, hello, can't hear, I know. I think you're muted. Yes, muted. You know why I muted? Because I had to reverse the phone and my big thumb gets in the way. Yeah, there you go. I know. Hello, Crystal from Tim. You know, it's that whole reverse thing, and my thumb is, I got a fat thumb, see? It's Lorelai's fault. She made me turn the camera around so she could see Lily. So blame it on Lorelai, everybody. Don't blame it on me. So, Crystal, we hope you're doing well tonight. Pat says he's doing well. MJ's doing well. Tim's doing well. Everybody's doing well. Health-wise, I'm okay. We're still very sad about our dog, but we're okay. I'm looking forward to warm weather. That's all I can say. But I think it's important to figure out what you want and if you can achieve it or not wherever you're going to live. Because you got to have something that you can achieve. Always your fault, never hers. Oh, no, it's the other way around in this house. Now, rule number one. Hey, no, rule number one. A happy husband, happy wife. You make me happy, then you're happy. Rule number one, MJ, you got it backwards, my friend. So, you're in the air purifying zone with the air con going. Good. Good. I know it's important to have that air movement. You know, you got to have that air movement. That's why I don't mind heat as long as it's moving. I don't mind I like the temperature in the Philippines. I just needed the air to move. Dave's World, there you go. Darn right. Lorelai's agreeing with me because she knows I'm always right. So she's a good wife because MJ, everybody, Crystal, my wife's a very good wife because she agrees with me. Agree with me so you can have peace and quiet in the house. Yes. See, that's part of the plan. We're pretty smart, you know. Have you read the book No David? I have not. I've never heard of that title. What's it about, Crystal? Should I read it? Would it be worth reading? No David. Who would say no to me? I'm going to Google it. Book called I do believe I am the center of my own universe, though. There is quiet when you have temp. I like quietness. Really? Oh, yeah, the sure is. The sure is, Crystal. Let's see. Let me see what it's about. It's a picture book. It looks like for children. Wow, he wrote it when he was 5 years old. No David, and picture of David doing things he was not supposed to do. And now it's all grown up, but some things never change. That's funny. You guys want to see a little snippet of it? So apparently, this very bright, good-looking young man named David does all kinds of mischievous things, and it's all about him doing that. So that's funny. Like not tipping over the water fountain or the fish tank. Oh, that's funny. Never seen it or heard of it. Oh, there's also some others that says, David smells. Oh, David. Oh, no. Oops. From David. All about little kids. You know, I'm not a little kid. I'm an adult. Is that perfect? I told my girlfriend the first time she gave me Tampa would be the last time. I know, you did good with that. A lot of us encourage our women folk to do it. That way we get quiet time in the house. I wonder if she can. I wonder if he still knows that he's all grown up. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I grew up. I've been growing up since I was about. I don't know. How old am I now? I don't know. I've been. I grew up the hard way. I've grown up, but you know, if you can't be if you can't be your own center of your own universe, then what can you be, right? So now, but trust me, my dogs and my wife are spoiled rotten, so I can't be that bad. But yeah, but some of us, Tim, we actually, but you don't live with your girlfriend. We live with our wives. So, you know, like MJ and I and Pat and others, we're probably pretty happy when they throw those quiet fits. So, Crystal, how are things in Canada? We saw the news report today where your new prime minister was here visiting our White House. Oh, it's kind of like when you girls throw a fit and you shut down and don't talk and you kind of brood That's what it is. That's what it's called in the Philippines. Well, that's probably the same thing here, Tim. 64, and my girlfriend's wondering if I'll ever grow up. I hope I don't. Yeah, brooding. I call it brooding. But Crystal, a lot of us men enjoy that. They're just starting to come out in the wash. Let's say that. Okay, good, good. But sometimes, quiet is good, right? And having some quiet time is very good. There's nothing wrong with quiet time. I'm a big believer in that. Especially like, at Walmart, there should be a rule that people aren't allowed to talk at Walmart. Should be a big sign like a library. Shh, use your indoor voices. Like at Walmart, right? At concerts. Shh, use your indoor voices and sit down. It should be a lot of things like that. you know. I don't know how many times you got to hear somebody on the phone going, "Oh my God," So, but what are we going to do with people? I tell people all the time, the world would be a wonderful place if there wasn't any humans in it. But then what would we do, right? If we weren't here, who would screw things up for entertainment? If humans weren't here, things wouldn't be as funny. It wouldn't be as interesting. The drama wouldn't be here. We'd be less entertained without humans. But I really believe that. The world would be a better place without humans. So, but, it's all right. It's all right. Well, yeah, Crystal, it kind of is. It's quiet time, you know. I tell men that are married to Filipinos to enjoy it and go fishing when it's happening. Use it as your signal to go do what you want to do. So MJ knows what I'm talking about. I'm telling you, it's good. He can go work on his music. I'm okay with it. Lorelai doesn't really do it though. That's a sad thing. I can't get Lorelai to leave me alone for 4 or 5 days so I can go fishing. Reflection and karma, yes. If humans were not here, animals would be they would be fine. Everything would be fine. The environment would be fine. The animals would be happier. The trees would be happier. Humans are the alien species. We are the parasites on the planet Earth. I think that very much. I really do believe that we are parasitic on the planet. The animals will be overpopulated. A side of human is an animal. Yeah, yeah, okay. Well, no, I disagree, Lorelai. Animals would not be overpopulated because they would eat each other and keep the population in check. And some humans have animal-like behaviors, but we are mammals. Well, yes, we're mammals. We're also parasites. Just saying. Just saying. Don't you feel like a parasite? Have you ever felt like a parasite? Answer that question honestly. Anybody in here? Have you ever stopped and said and thought, gee, I kind of feel like I'm a parasite? Everyone and everything has its purpose and is part of the ecosystem. This is true. We are also fish. Okay. A lot of people believe that we evolved from the oceans. Yes. Human is the highest rank of animals. Doesn't mean we're the best. So but my name's David, so am I the highest ranking human? I have animals like behaviors, but I can't talk about that in the live stream. That's good. We don't want to hear about that. We're all tadpoles. We are from being formed for our parents' womb. Yeah, isn't that kind of like a parasite though? It kind of grows and grows, or like a bowfly. It gets under the skin of an animal, buries in, right, like a fetus, matures, grows, and pops out. See? And a bowfly is considered a parasite. Wouldn't it be the same thing? Yeah. Ah, zygotes, yep. You're the highest ranking in our house. Well, thank you, Laura. I appreciate that. At least I'm the highest ranking somewhere. So it's very invasive. Yes. Joe's in the house. Good evening, Dave and chat. Thank you for the thumbs up. We appreciate that. Joe, how are things for you? What's going on in your world? Joe, are humans parasites? Now, we got off track a little bit, but now we're talking about, all kinds of stuff. Just like the movie Alien. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good movie, too. The first one or two was pretty good. What was weird about the Alien movie series, I didn't see it morphing into the Predator series. I don't know if that was always the intended purpose to merge Alien and Predator together. I don't know, but yes, we are parasites. That's right. MJ says hello to you, Joe and Jenny. So, yeah. But is parasites always a bad thing? Here's your question for tonight. Can a parasite be a good thing? Think about this. And if it's a good thing, is it a parasite or is it symbiotic relationship? Because usually when you have a parasitic organization that provides a good or a service, it's a symbiotic relationship. Tim says, hello to you. Hello, MJ. My kids are and will always be parasites, even if their foster and kinship homes are. Yes. Well, kids are, yeah. That's why we don't have any kids. We just have blood-sucking dogs. We have dogs that, take advantage of us. Joe says hello to you, Tim. Good morning to you. In the land of the Philippines, where it's 900 degrees out and no air moving. Tim is hanging out inside his place today with the AC on and the air purifier because there's no air movement in the Philippines today. So, Joe, thought I'd get you caught up. We're talking about the Philippines, a little bit about being a dream or a nightmare. Joe, do you have a opinion? Can something be two things at once? Can the Philippines be a dream and a nightmare at the same time? I can be a dream and I can be a nightmare at the same time. I can probably have both at the same time. I don't know. Lorelai will openly admit, my beautiful wife, that I am her dream. I am her dream of all dreams. Always have been. And then she'll admit sometimes I'm her nightmare. So, Joe, did the rain stop where you're at? Joe's between us and Pat, geographically. Can be both at once depending on where you are out of. Yeah. Yeah. I think things can serve multiple purposes all at the same time. I do. A chair can be something that you sit in, and a chair can be something you stand in. So it can be a ladder and a seat. And Chris will openly admit to be Dream Toy. All right. I don't know who that is, to be honest, but I don't know who Tenanelia Middleton is, to be honest. But I'm a Dream Toy. I don't know who that is, Crystal. I saw the original Alien movie in theaters in 79 and was born in 71. Yes, scared the living poo-poo out of me. And I had nightmares. Good. Yes, your nightmares when we was in the Philippines. Yes. That's right. 92's at 852 and a air quality level of 44 air index. Oh, your daughter. Okay. All right. I got you. I thought maybe it was like a Canadian star, somebody famous that I wasn't hip on the latest famous people. Alien was a good movie. Another one that scared the crap out of you. And Chris is the guy who looks like Harry and the Hendersons. You mean Bigfoot? Chris is Bigfoot? I don't know. The only one I remember about Harry and the Hendersons is Bigfoot. which would be Harry, I guess. Oh, another interview. I mean, okay, okay. MJ liked the movie The Thing. I like the original Thing. Not the original, but the 80s Thing. It was pretty good. The latest one sucked. But I thought the 80s one was pretty good. I did like the Alien movies. I did. I liked the Predator, most of them, until they got weird or they put Predator like in New York killing people and stuff. That was stupid. My phone's messing up, my brother David, while typing. It's all right. We'll work through it, Pat. A movie called Extra. Never heard of that one. It's all right, Pat. Don't worry about it. I don't get hung up on things. I'm going to Google that, MJ, because I've never heard of that one. Movie called where was it? There it goes. From 1982, alien creature. Oh my God. No wonder you like this one. An alien creature impregnates a woman who gives birth to a man who was abducted by aliens 3 years ago. The man reconnects with his wife and son for sinister purposes. So, isn't this just like Starman without the violence? Because wasn't Starman or one of those movies where they did the baby thing? But I never saw that one, I will admit. Do they even make good movies anymore? I don't know. Would you rather watch movies from the 80s or today? Which decade, there you go. Which decade is best for movies? Children of the Corn was really good. Yeah, Extra was more gross. I kind of figured that one there. Children of the Corn movie was scary as hell. Hellraiser was good. I liked Hellraiser. No scary, had nightmares. Yeah, all right. I like the Children of the Corn. I thought that was very good, very thought-provoking. I just found out that my tablet is low battery, so is my phone. Well, you got power, you're running electricity. The baby develops in the womb quickly and she births the grown man. That's kind of weird. Everyone give Dave the thumbs up. Thank you for that, Joe. We appreciate that. Thank you for the kind words about our dog Daisy passing away. Lorelai and I appreciate that, Joe. Nightmare on Elm Street. I found that one kind of boring. I thought it's like, oh, this is so cliche. Now, I like the Friday the 13th and all of those, Halloween. But I kind of went, Friday the 13th seems to be like, hey, those are really successful, so we're going to kind of make one of those. Tim votes for 70s and 80s films and music. So I wasn't a huge fan of the Nightmare on Elm Street. I went, yeah. Just take more drugs. That's what. Scanners was pretty good. Scanners was good. I liked Scanners. Where I think, didn't one of their heads explode or something on Scanners? Let's give a shout out to Brother David, Lorelai's channel. Like, subscribe, sub. Forget to double tap and hit the bell. Thank you, Pat. We appreciate that. Dreamscape. Yeah, I remember that one. I don't know that one. Welcome. So, I'm trying to think of what I really liked. Now, I'll tell you one of the movies I watched was that creeped me out. Was a movie called Blue Velvet. Not Black Velvet, the horse racing movie, but a movie called Blue Velvet. It had Dennis Hopper in it, And that guy that played Aaron Hosner on Criminal Minds for all those years, he was in it when he was young. It was a really creepy, weird, psychological, screwed up movie. That one creeped me out. You heard of that one? Yeah, Blue Velvet. Don't remember. Yeah, it's kind of creepy. And there's this weird, they get drugs. I mean, it's some weird crap. And there's a singer in there that was like a old trailer lot lizard looking lounge singer who sang the song, "A Blue Velvet," just weird. Pet Cemetery. Lorelai liked Pet Cemetery. Pat says, that scared you? Pet Cemetery? I like Pet Cemetery. I thought it was okay. I read all of Stephen King's books way back in the day. I thought Cujo sucked. I'm like, come on, this is boring. I like Christine. Stephen King's movie Christine is one of my favorites. So, yeah. I read all of his books, though. The Stand, everything, all of those over the years. Okay, the simulated, okay, I don't know that one. Oh, the clowns. Yeah, what's the name of the one of the clown? The 2-part special? What's the name of that movie with It? IT, right? It? Is that right? With the clown and the balloon, the red balloon? Yeah, Pat says It. Okay. What about the one where the flying man-like creature with bat wings would steal body parts from people? I forget the name. You're talking about Jeeper Creepers? Jeeper Creepers. Jeeper Peepers. I take your peepers. Talking about Jeeper Creepers? Where he'd come back every 23 years and feed for a night. Oh, yeah. Lorelai says it was It. That's correct. Jimmy John's back. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for the thumbs up, Jimmy. We appreciate you coming back. Omens were good. I like the Omen movies. That little kid, Damien, man, he was a creepy-ass little kid. Yes. Jeeper Creepers? I don't think I'm saying it right. Jeepers Creepers, something like that. In real time, I don't like clowns. Oh, you don't like clowns in person. I don't blame you. It's all right. It's all right. But I did like the Omen movies. I thought those were really good. Didn't that have like Gary Peck or something, Gregory Peck or somebody in it? Poltergeist was great for its time. Poltergeist was fantastic for its time. With the guy from Coach. What was that little girl died too? Did you know that? What was I can't. Oh, there's a hummingbird. Lorelai, we have a hummingbird feeding at the bird feeder. What was her name? Does anybody remember the girl's name on Poltergeist? It wasn't. What was the little girl's name? Pet Cemetery, you kind of feel it, read and drag. You feel what's in the movie. Yeah, unlike other scary movies, I agree. Francis is back in the house. Hey, how are you? Good to see you. It's been a long time. I hope you're doing well in your part of the world. Thank you for coming in. So we're trying to figure out the little girl's name in Poltergeist. Karen? Carrie? Something like that? Oh, Carrie was a good movie. The original Carrie was a really good movie. Everybody say hello to Frances, please, if you would. Exorcist, fantastic movie. One of the best horror movies ever, period. One of my ultimate favorite, top 1, 2, 3, 5. Exorcist is great. Pat says, I'll be right back. I got to go outdoor and pee. Did you know that cannibals don't eat clowns? They say they taste funny. Was Carrie Ann. That's what it was, Jimmy. Carrie Ann. Carrie Ann, can you hear me? The Entity was a scary movie. And remember The Entity? That was good. And the Amityville Horror 1 and 2 are okay. Now they've got like 30 or 40, 50, 70 movies, which kind of suck. But I did like Carrie. The movie Carrie was fantastic. Come to the light. That's what it was. Come to the light. And I liked it when the guy was eating a piece of chicken, and it turned out to be the dead canary that had maggots on it. Remember that scene? I love that. Well, it's based on a true story. That's correct, Pat. It is truly based on a true story out in New York. That's correct. The Hills Has Eyes. Yes. Yes. I like that. That was all right. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is based on a real story. So, yeah, a lot of great movies, a lot of horror movies. I like them. I like them very much. They don't scare me, they entertain me for some reason. Carrie, Sissy Spec, yeah, that was a great movie. John Travolta was in that, right? So that was a great movie. I'm just telling you. One of the best out there. And then, I had another great one in mind the other day, or a minute ago. So, Texas Chainsaw Massacre was great. And then, I lost my train of thought. But yeah, I read all of the Stephen King books. I had them all read by the time, every time that one came out, I read them all. So, a lot of great movies from his and others. And the one about the guy that made the pig sausage, remember, out of Humans, where they dug him in the ground? Oh, I was thinking of The Werewolf in London. A Werewolf in London was what I was thinking of. That was a really good movie. The first one. Now they got like 10 or 20,000 of them. But Werewolf in London or An American Werewolf? I think the American Werewolf was the one where that old guy was eating a steak and it bowl. I don't know. Really cool. Silence of the Lamb is great. Jodie Foster. I like Red Dragon. I'm a big fan of all of those. Yeah. So the Hannibal Lecter series, big fan of those. So, but Silence of the Lambs is really good. One rubs the lotion on it. One rubs the lotion on itself. Rub the lotion on itself, he's making him a woman suit, That's a good movie. It really is. But I like The Red Dragon, where the guy eats the picture of the Red Dragon and the thump of the lady on the hill. Silent Hill's a good movie where her girl goes missing. Isn't that the one? And she kind of drives up and it's foggy. And it's kind of like a weird ghost thing. Train of thought, mind derailed at the station. Yes. Oh, man. I don't know. Man, so many good movies. So many good movies. They don't make good movies anymore, I don't believe. Does every old person say that? Back in my day, they made really good movies. Back in my day, but the movies in the 80s just seemed to be, a little bit more punchier. We weren't so bent out of shape about offending people, I think. And so a lot of our movies had a little bit more oomph, a little bit more going, ooh, Jimmy's asking, is there still AYCE popcorn? I don't know. I couldn't answer that one. Cricket's back in the house. Hello, Pat from Cricket. Cricket didn't say hello to me, but he said hello to Pat. Well, gee, Cricket, I understand. All right, Cricket, I understand. Everybody said hello to Cricket, by the way. Midnight Meat Train? I don't know that one. Pat says hello. Anyone seen? Cloverfield's pretty good. I saw Cloverfield. It really is. I watched Cloverfield. All you can eat. No, popcorn? Look it up. All right. Midnight. Let me look it up. Let me look this up so I can find it. Blazing Saddles. Come on, that is one of the best comedies ever. Let me scroll back up here. Midnight Meat Train. Oh, it's a 2008 movie, so it's fairly new. Sure was. Let's see what it's about. It had Bradley Cooper in it. Oh, you know what was a good movie? I don't know if you guys ever saw it. Photographer's Obsession, Pursuit of Darkness, and leads him into the path of a serial killer. Oh, I like serial killer movies. I'm a big, gigantic fan of serial killers. I'm gonna have to watch this one, Pat, because I don't. This one doesn't ring a bell with me, and I thought I knew all the serial killer movies. So, Pat's wanting to, or Cricket's wanting to he needs friends on Robalex, whatever that is. So he needs friends on that. The Sheriff is funny, yes. Blazing Saddles was good. Pat doesn't know Cricket. His son's not with him right now, so he'll be back in about a week or so, Cricket. No, trying to, man, I keep forgetting all these great movies. It was back on Thursday. All right. Well, what movie? Let me ask you this, because I was telling you about serial killers. I mean, I used to be an expert in serial killers, but is that a game? Yes, MJ. It's a kids game. I think it's where it's like a social media thing where they can meet up and hang out inside like a virtual game. Kind of like the thing you had playing the other day on your live stream. Something like that where they kind of go in and they role play. So, but let me ask you this. What movie, old movie that you've already seen, or what movie, period, that's older than 5 years old, that you would pay money to go watch at a theater again? Is there a movie out there that if it came out in the theater and you had to pay $12 to go, I don't know how much they cost now, to go watch it, you would pay $12 to go watch a movie that you've already seen? What movie is it? Come here, Lily. I got to think hard at that one of myself because I'm not for sure. Trolls? Caveman? Caveman. Caveman. I don't know Caveman. I don't know Trolls. I know Trolls. Older movie. Yeah, any movie. I know the movie Trolls. Caveman. I don't think I know that one. Caveman from 1981. The movie Year One, if you ever saw that, was pretty good. Oh, I have seen that movie. I know what that is. I've seen that one. It is a funny movie. Caveman is a really funny. Yes, I remember that one now. Yep, Pat, you're right. I've heard that too. They're supposed to be doing a new Goonies. Year One was pretty funny, I thought too. It's kind of like a modern version of that. I don't know. I mean, I've watched all the movies I normally want to see. I get to watch. So I don't know what I would pay to go to the theater to watch again. Jimmy says Top Gun, the original. Yes, Lorelai and I went and watched Top Gun Part 2 in the theater, And I think Top Gun Part 2 was better than Top Gun Part 1. We really like Top Gun Part 2. All right, Tim, appreciate that. Guys, does you like Top Gun? MJ is saying, Atu, Alana, oh, Lana. He's thinking Caveman Ling, Jug Jug, Jug Jug. Top Gun 2 was really good. It was. It was a really good movie. I thought it was. I thought it was better than the first one. I really did. And I'm not a huge Tom Cruise fan. I think he's a little one-dimensional of an actor. And that's another great question for you. I have somebody in mind, but who do you think is the greatest actor out there right now? Do you actress or actor, either or? Do you have a favorite actor right now today that you would go, man, he's the best there is, or she's the best there is? Ah, yes, MJ Tundas. I'm starting to remember it now. It's been such a long time since I've seen that. It has to be at least since the mid 80s. So, but those are good, funny movies. What was the, I like there was a movie, I think it was Demi Moore that was in it. And maybe Chevy Chase, where they get, it was a comedy about cannibals, and they get trapped like at a salvage yard, and there's these two Bubba, creatures, and she has to convince them, and what was the name of that man? Yeah, he did. Iceman just passed away. Val died. He did, yes. I said, I'll be right back. All right, Pat. So there's a movie out there. I can't remember the freaking name of it, though. But it's a comedy where it's about cannibals and about how they get trapped at the junkyard and they got to escape. And it's a comedy. And I think it was Demi Moore in it who has to convince Bobo and Bubba, these two really super fat diaper wearing deformed children from inbreeding, to help them let them go. And it's really funny as can be. I'll have to try to figure out who that was. I think it was like Dodo and Bobo. Dodo and Bobo. I might be wrong. Yeah, here it is. Yep. It's called Nothing But Trouble. 1991 with Chevy Chase, Dan Aykroyd, John Candy, and Demi Moore. One of the funniest little movies out there. Caddyshack. If you don't like Caddyshack, man, you didn't grow up, there's something wrong with you don't like Caddyshack. Gotta love Caddyshack. I saw a thing where they're talking about, speaking of inbreeding, oh my God, MJ. Have you seen The Real Family? I think in West Virginia, their parents were born, brothers, yeah. It's called the Whitakers. Whitakers or Whitakers. I can't remember how you pronounce it, whether it's the Whitakers or the Whitakers. But it's something like that. They're out of West Virginia. That's right. The most inbred family in America. Caddyshack, yes. Stripes, yes. It is awesome. It's one of the best movies out there, Caddyshack 2. And, but, yeah, I like Caddyshack. Whittaker, is that what it is? Whittakers? Okay, yes. Yeah, I've seen some videos on them. Yes, it's scary, kind of, It makes you think, what it made me think of was back, 200, 300, 400, 1,000 years ago when all these royal families were leading the world and they were inbreeding with each other. How in the hell did we survive those families to get to this point after all of that inbreeding went on between kings and, royal families? Whitakers. Okay, all right. I knew it was something like that. Whitakers. Sad. Happens more than you think, though. So, Stripes is really good. I saw a thing they were talking about Stripes the other day, how it was made. So, Stripes is one of the best movies out there. Oh, what I saw about Stripes, and I didn't know this, they were doing an interview with Judd Reinhold, I think is his name, or whatever his name was, or is, about how Stripes was supposed to be originally called Cheech and Chong Joins the Army. That's what that movie was supposed to originally be. But that didn't work out. And when they got, what's his name, Bill Murray, and he got a hold of it, and he's like, well, if I'm going to do it, we're going to change a lot of it. So, yeah, you're right. You would think that from a scientific standpoint, MJ, you would think that the DNA at some point would collapse upon itself and not allow pregnancy, right? Would not allow it. You would think that the biological process would be self-destructive, so to speak. No, I don't think I've seen Top Secret. I've seen the one called The Saint with Val Kilmer in it, and I thought that was really good, about cold fusion. That was a really good movie. I've seen that one. I did watch, one movie I like is The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. That's a really good movie. You guys haven't seen it. It has the guy that plays James Bond a little bit. Gus Sanders says, good evening. David, everybody said hello to our good friend Gus out of Georgia. Gus, thank you for coming in. We appreciate you, buddy. Is it slapstick comedy? Okay. It's not like Tropical Thunder, is it? I thought that was stupid. I thought Tropical Thunder was stupid. Hello, MJ from Gus. Gus is in the house. Hey, Gus from Jimmy. Hi, Gus. Thank you for the thumbs up, everybody, because you came in. We appreciate that. Sanders, we're still struggling with the loss of our dog. We're trying to move on day by day, but we still don't, we're not quite there yet. So, but, hello, Jimmy from Sanders. I'm starting to worry a little bit about our other wiener dog, who seems to be very, very sad that she's alone now. But I didn't like Tropical Thunder at all. I didn't like that. The Cheech and Chong movies were funny, thinking of them about Stripes. So I enjoyed those, not all that much, but I got the humor in it. So let me ask you this. And this is going to kind of tell your age. What is some of the first movie that you remember watching? What's one of the first movies that you remember watching? Hello, guys. Hello, Jimmy. I understand it's a hard thing to go. It is. It's a difficult thing. Yeah, she passed away last Wednesday, so tomorrow will be 1 week. We had to cut our trip short from the Gulf of America. So we're still struggling with it tremendously, to be honest. We don't know where we're going or what we're doing, whether we're going to try to get another puppy or not. They run about $2,000 to $3,000, so that's a big hurdle. We don't need one that's registered, pedigreed, or anything, but it seems like to get a real one, you gotta pay out the nose to get one. Even though we only paid about $500 for Daisy when we got her 8.5 years ago, so we're stressing over a lot of that. Jimmy says Bruce Lee, the Bruce Lee movie. Some of the first movies I remember watching were Ma and Pa Kettle movies. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang is where I was going also. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, Ma and Pa Kettles, and then Bad News Bears, the original with Jodie Foster. So Bad News Bears. I remember I was playing, I don't know, what, Little League or whatever at the time, getting to go, I don't know, watch with a group of people to watch Bad News Bears. So, but Chitty Chitty Bang Bang was a good movie. Oliver Twist, yes. So, yeah, brings you back to think about what you went through. Either or, just something that pops in your brain that goes, I remember Ma and Pa Kettle or Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. We used to go to the theater and sit in the back of the truck or the station wagon and watch movies at the theater that way and drink Kool-Aid and eat popcorn. The Cowboys with John Wayne is a really good movie. Sad movie, but a really good movie. I like The Cowboys. I like John Wayne, but yeah, I'm not a huge Western fan. Not a huge. But The Cowboys with all the kids in it was a really good movie. Pat says, hey, guess what? I'm back. Pat, what movie do you remember watching? First thing that pops in your head when you think back when you were a youngster. Yeah, so you're a little bit younger than some of us, MJ. I saw Alien when I was 8 years old. All right, see, that will do it. That's one of your favorites? Nice. Yeah, we'd go to the theater, the drive-through, sit in the back of the old station wagon. My dad would make this gigantic bag of popcorn. My mother was dead by now. And we'd drink Kool-Aid